Hi everybody, I'm VeggieWagon here on Spicy Plays. You may know me from co-hosting Decked Out, the EDH gameplay show that you can find on YouTube, different MTG song parodies or comedy sketches, and you may not know me at all, which is probably more likely.
Hey! Don't you ever say that again!
I know that this show is normally about constructed gameplay, but I don't care. I'm one of the best limited players that you're ever going to see in your life on this channel. And I figured that this would be a little bit more interesting since I don't really think about the deck building for any of my constructed decks. So I'm going to be playing some Phyrexia All Will Be One limited on Arena, and just for some context, most seasons on Arena I'll make it into the top 10 on the Mythic ranked ladder. I've made it to number one spot before, and that's worldwide. So we're gonna see if I can maintain that level of gameplay in a little bit of pain. And here we are. Now, this is what I'm gonna look like in a moment, but right now, I'm feeling great. We're gonna talk through the All Will Be One format and why I'm choosing the cards that I'm doing, a little bit of extra knowledge on how you can easily 7-0 your draft if you aren't under the influence of a hot pepper. If you take a look up there, you can see it did all right this season. Not quite the number we're looking for, but I'm sure we can drop it by a couple, right? I think it's that time. Oh, here it is. Doesn't she look beautiful? Okay, we're going in. Yes. Okay. Bottoms up. Okay. Tastes great. My favorite thing I've ever had. Woo! All right, it's coming on quick. We're matched up. We're ready to go. Okay. Pick number one, very important. Sets the pace for the sets the pace for the match. Airbrass Forge. This is a very fun card. These are probably going into oil. If you can get this on the board, then it's very hard for hard for your opponent to stop. Because it just ramps up and ramps up and ramps up. Okay. You may have heard that this format is very fast. That's true. This is just a common, it's just a shock. But that's super critical that you pick these cards up early in draft. Even more important than uncommons, more important than rares. And also, we're still sticking with the red. You want to remain flexible. Okay, we see a little bit of synergy here. Thrumming Bird, you get Proliferate. You can add more oil counters to your Forge, get that going faster. I don't love blue in this format. Doesn't mean it's unplayable, but we may not want to shoehorn ourselves in to take a big pick this early on with that. All right, easy. But there is high potential there, so I think we are going to grab it. I'm not sold on the blue yet. Something's making me feel more of a red vibe right now. We don't need this blue cooling it off, but just in case. Ooh, all right. We see a strong red uncommon here. This also uses oil counters, and so we could probably get red-black oil going. We see a second Thrumming Bird, and if there's one thing that I love in draft, what is often a chaotic format, is some consistency. Whew, that would be nice. I see that potential here. I am not big on red-blue, but seeing two of these pass to me means that the person that's sitting next to us is probably not in blue. Yeah. We see yet another blue uncommon pass to us here. We're not going to quite take it yet because your turn 1 removal is the most important thing. But yeah, let me talk to you for a moment about this. We even more than the right picks is or the gameplay is knowing where you are sitting. Clearly, the person that is sitting next to us is not drafting the colors that we are. That's super important. So I think we just we stick to these colors, even though they may not be the strongest archetype in the format. We're gonna get the best cards in it. The Magmatic Sprinter here puts more oil counters on things instantly. We could throw those 2 oil counters on our Brass Forge for big value, and it's just going to bounce itself. We continue to stack counters on it. We're really building around the Brass Forge at the moment. Okay, so we have some options in our color, but we do want to take note of the other things that are going around. This card looks really cool. Toxic 6, more than half dead to something like this, but it's so expensive. Games are not often lasting that long, so usually you don't get to play that. I think for the moment, we're just going to grab the Surgical Bay, a land that can give us a little value later on, because if any of these games do make it to like the long game, then you're usually out of stuff. Oh god, I'm so good at this. I'm so good at this. Right here we have Mesmerizing Dose. It's probably your best blue removal. And the fact that we're 8 picks in and we're grabbing this means I have made the right decision in the colors that we should be in. All right. Yep. Still seeing so much red, so much blue in this pack. More than half of it in our colors means there's very few people that are taking these. We are going to have our pick. Let's grab the thing with oil. This probably would have been good as well to give our opponent poison to start proliferating that, but we're not going to really have much else that's going to be poisoning them, so it's not really worth it to go for the poison kill. Hey. I love this little guy. This is actually going to be our main pressure in these colors. Lots of non-creature spells, and we have plenty of ways to increase the oil counters. It turns into a 3/3 unblockable very fast. Cool. Okay, lots of options that I'm happy with. I'm actually going to take this. It looks like a piece of junk, but being able to slam this on turn 1 and stop their toxic creatures from coming through, amazing. It's so good. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna grab the Shrapnel Slinger. Plenty of artifacts for us to destroy with that. Big flyer to beat them in the air. So easy. Yeah. Look, the main thing I want to point out how incredibly smart that I am. That we were able to pick only in the colors that we had. Because we found the color pair that like practically nobody is drafting this whole table. This pack 2 sucks. This sucks so much. We have 3 cards in our colors here, and we could. At this point, I don't care about these cards. I'm gonna make a speculation pick. We know we want to be in red. Red is our for sure color here. So I could take the Phyrexian Arena, but that's too black. We're probably not gonna be splashing for that. I'm gonna grab the Ravager here, because this cares about oil counters as well. And if for some reason we need to go into green, or I'd even be happy splashing for this because it wipes out all of your opponent's might tokens, which are going to cause you problems. Never mind. Pack 2, amazing, amazing. This is a bomb. It doesn't quite look like it. It's not incredibly interesting, but being able to drop a 4/4 flying haste on the board on turn 5 and then just move this to whatever you want, that's very hard to beat. Okay. We've got some options here. This card is a trap.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47.
It seems very cool, and it never does anything, so don't pick it. The Cacophony Scamp is probably our choice here. The ability to proliferate all of our oil tokens is pretty fantastic, and imagine throwing the Dragon Wing Glider that we just grabbed onto this. Then if they kill it, that's 3 damage to whatever we want. Okay. What are people in this? What are people drafting in this? Okay, we have all of these incredible blue and red. We know nobody's drafting blue and red already, and yet these are making it around. So maybe the reality is the people to our right are not drafting blue and red, and the people to our left are not drafting black. But whatever. We're gonna stick with what we got here. Hazardous Blast. Hazard Blast, this is the most underrated card in the entire format. If you're running red, you better have one of these in your deck, because if you don't, that's stupid. Okay. A little bit more oil counter action. It's fantastic here, but a nice little synergy with the Urbrask Forge is when those tokens die, this is going to get more oil counters on it. So sure, we'll take it. 1 for 1. Okay. The land here could mean that if we wanted to splash white later, it'd be a little easier, but I don't think that's going to happen. We haven't seen anything worth taking in white. I'm just going to take the only card in our color. I don't even know if we use that. Okay. Bring the Ending. Counters, not usually that great in limited. Especially ones that have a price tag on it, like, because opponent only needs to pay 2. I don't hate running that, but we don't have a lot of big removals, so I think I'm gonna grab. No. You know, I'm gonna take the counter, because look at what we have at 2. We don't have a lot there, and I think a single copy of this can catch somebody off guard. All right, Curator is not awful. We can recur some of our removal. Another Seer. We've already got 3 creatures at 1. I don't really care about the Toxic here. I'm going to take the Curator. Okay. Another thing that's got oil counters, but it needs our stuff to die. And aside from the Forge, we're not really going to have a lot of other things dying. The Skull Bombs, they're not flashy, but I think it's usually a good choice to have at least one of them in your deck, because they help to either just cycle you through cards or can come in clutch with their second ability. Definitely to get and take another one of these Ichor Synthesizers. This is in our colors. We're not going to play it because it's a trap. People are taking a long time. Come on, people. I'm under duress at the moment. It should be easy. It should be easier for you. We'll take. That's the Skull Bomb that does oil counters. We can take that. All right. At this point, I'm usually like looking to slim the deck down. The Ravager is still maybe an option, but at this point, we have very tight red and blue, so I don't think we need to. To be thinking about running this. All right, and that's not in our colors. Okay. Pack 3, coming through. Yeah, you always like to see. It's always better to be lucky than good. We're gonna take this card here. A 2/1 unblockable for 2 is already going to be very playable, but you have a bonus here. It's got oil counters, which is like kind of our thing, and like later in the game, you're going to get the option to copy one of your spells. Where I'm so good at this game. Oh my god. We're gonna take this little buddy, the Serum Core Chimera, 2/4 flyer. oil counters, drawing cards, dealing damage. You can't get better than that. Okay, all right, yeah, we're gonna slim this down a little bit. I don't think I need 2 of these. We're probably only keeping 1 of these spell bombs. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, this is the importance of making sure that you figure out what colors to be in and not necessarily forcing it, because we're just getting everything that we want. This is the ideal card for what we're working with right now. It gets the oil counters, it gets more of them for non-creature spells, and it deals damage in the air. This is it could not have gone much better than this. Ooh, tough choice here. Do we go for a 3rd synthesizer or a 3rd throbbing bird? I'll be honest. I think the synthesizer is the better pick. I think it's the right pick here. We're gonna go with the 3rd thrumming bird because that's the memeier pick. Just like imagine a board full of proliferate, like constantly with every single other thing that we've got on the board. I'm gonna dump the skull bomb here because we don't need to be putting more counters on things. We can do it ourselves. I promise I didn't rig this this draft. Like these people here are not paid actors. We're just good at this, I guess. And one of the few things we were missing, like some spells at the top end. I'm happy to take this removal here, because what we got so far really only takes out smaller creatures. We can take another hazardous blast. But we're not too worried about blockers because we got a lot of flyers. I think I'd rather take 1 more creature at the top end. We can take another magmatic sprinter, which this deck is nuts. This is a no losses deck. I'm gonna take 1 more creature down here. I don't know if we run this. Yeah, look at this. Nobody's drafting these colors. I don't think we need any of these cards. I'll take this, but I'm gonna immediately sideboard it. Let's see. Let's check 1 more. Yep. Okay, we don't need any of this stuff. I picked 12 synthesizer. This is a card that makes this archetype work, and we're grabbing it like as people are scrounging for what they need. And there we go. That's the draft. Let's just note, how many cards do we have to pick that are out of our colors? 1, 2, 3. 3 cards total. Everything here playable. Okay, if we take a quick look through the deck to see what we might need to cut, because we're at 47 out of 40, we'll drop 1 of the Glistening Seers. I think a lot of these buddies here are pretty great. That's a lot. That's 6, 7, 8 2-drops. That's probably greedy. We'll drop the Bring the Ending, not super good, and we're not really going to poison anybody. We'll throw out the Slinger. I'm probably going to regret that because it's slightly less removal, but like it just feels so good running 3 birds and 3 synthesizers. Let's see what else. That's a good time when you're struggling to cut because every card in your deck is super hype. I probably don't need 2 of these 2 big birds. This format is a little different. You want to stack your early plays. If you're not hitting 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, then you're probably losing. And this is probably the first limited format ever that I can say that and be very confident in that. What do we drop here? We have 3 creatures. We might drop the Free from Flesh, but like that's got such
Say the line, Bart.
Spicy interaction with some of these things. Like imagine playing that with a Trawler Drake out. because it's gonna get a count. It's gonna get a counter from playing a 9-creature spell, plus the 2 from the oil, plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So that's a 1 mana 5 boost on your flyer. So I think I've got to keep the 1 copy of it. Let's see. I almost want to drop the Hazardous Blast because Thrumming Bird flies. Ichor Synthesizer is gonna be unblockable. Flying. This is one thing. The tokens from the Forge have trample. Both the Chimeras fly. I think that's actually what we're gonna do. This would be the point where you could cut back to me earlier in the draft being like, hey, if you're running red and not running a 1 copy of this, then you're an idiot. If you're running red, you better have one of these in your deck. Because if you don't, that's stupid. But we'll, maybe that'll come back to bite me. But maybe I won't worry about it. There are other things on my mind, like whatever's in my stomach at the moment. What else? Curator, what are you bringing back? You've got the 2 slashes. You've got the Molten Rebuke. Is that worth it? Is that worth it? I mean, it's 3 removal spells. It's probably worth it. We need 2 more cuts. Oh! I'm not thinking for some reason. This is a 16 land format. 17 lands is your average for a limited 40 card deck. But your curve is so low that you don't want to, you should be averaging 16 and thinking about cutting to 15. Let's take a look at our color spread. We're a little heavier in blue, but it's pretty close. So I'll go to 8 blue sources, 8 red sources, and then we only need to cut 1 more card. And then we get to play with the most beautiful, beautiful deck that I've ever seen in my freaking life. Okay. Oh, this is so tough. I think it's a 2 that we have to throw out here, because it's 7 2-drops is too much. It's like guaranteed too much. But these are like, this is so good. This is so good. Oh, am I really gonna drop a Thrumming Bird here? Maybe. Let's do a quick count of how many things we can proliferate and be happy about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. That's a quarter of the deck. That's hard to justify. That's hard to justify pulling that out. Okay, we can get there. We can figure it out. I think maybe it's this Skull Bomb. Skull Bombs are pretty mid. They get the job done, but when your deck looks like this, you don't worry about mid. I think this is. I think we're done here. This is gorgeous. Okay, I'd play this. I'd play this every day of my life. There you go. Easy as that. Phyrexia all will be 1 draft. It's hot and fast, but if you stay on top of it and you ride the wave, easy wins. Like I said, my biggest tips: make sure that you can 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, or you will lose. Cut down to 16 lands every deck that you're making, and make sure that you find the open colors. Everything is playable. Every color combination is playable. It's more important to get card quality than it is to get the strongest archetype. Of course, make sure that you like the video, that you subscribe here to Spicy Plays. But also, if you happen to find me out in the internet world, I'm VeggieWagon anywhere the content can be found, and I co-host Decked Out, the EDH gameplay show with MTG Nerd Girl, and those are all pretty cool things. I will see you next time. I'm feeling pretty great, and you know what? I couldn't ask for any better.